Good morning, everyone. How are we today? Microphone is a little low. We'll get that fixed. Adjust the microphone volume as well. Now that I'm seeing my levels. How is everyone doing today? I am tired. I did a lot of changes and adjustments to my setup, so I feel pretty happy about that. And by adjustments, I very much mean I cleaned. I also have the esteemed guest of Chandler. Don't know how long she'll be here, but she's here. Yeah. Slow morning today. You will notice the lights are back for the shelf unit. I'm really happy about it. And the streaming water bottle is back. I think life just got a little bit too busy there for a bit. And not that some essentials got lost, it's more that some pretty standard things that I use on the reg just didn't make it back to my desk after I used it elsewhere. There's just a lot of that's right. I did do that all the time with that thing. I'm hoping this morning to do a couple things. One, I want to do my regular check-in stuff like usual. But I also want to take some time and potentially work on some side project stuff. Probably won't open up Minecraft, but we'll see. I'm not sure. The biggest thing that I'm looking at right now is refinements, cleaning, streamlining, getting myself back centered a little bit so that way I can take on the rest of the week that's about to come up. The biggest thing that's coming up is I am officially loading in the show we're working on, so that's going to be a challenge, but we'll get to those details in a little bit. I finally got the controller installed. It's all the way down there for that system. It now allows me to actually control it for real. Trying to think, oh, I can just do this one to show it off. Now my whole back wall does some color changes. It's not just the D20 and the two outsides. So now you can actually show the color everywhere, which is something that I wanted to do from the beginning. Like that was the whole goal of the back wall, was that it was all lit up when I needed it to be. Behind me, there's actually a big old pile of stuff. You can barely see it. Well, a big old pile of stuff that I'm going to have to tackle sometime here soon. I know it. Because I'm a little boxed in with my setup. If I roll to here, I am now about to roll into the little pile of stuff, the doom pile, if you will. So hopefully we can get that squared away. I also had a small little epiphany. If I'm going to start doing these later night streams on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, whenever it occurs, that I should do some sort of pairing when it comes to what time I stream. My first thought was to make the later stream the at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. So that way I do Sundays at 9 a.m., Wednesdays at 9 p.m. or something similar. Or to shift this one up to 8:30. So that way I do a 8:30 a.m. stream on Sundays and 8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. The 8:30 seems to work for me. We'll see if it keeps working. Also, we'll see if Wednesday works going forward. But I feel like we're getting into somewhat of a stride, and I'm very excited. Another thing, I have the beta version of VoiceMod installed now, because VoiceMod just came out for Mac. The biggest issues I'm running into right now, because I don't want to pay for it yet until I know it's going to work for me. Biggest issues that I'm running into at this moment is that VoiceMod is not as intuitive as it should be when it comes to the output routing, i.e. that if I want to use it by itself, I have to turn off a bunch of stuff in the background so that way it's just VoiceMod that's coming through. One thought that I do have going forward is being able to you leaving, Bean? Is it time to go? Hold on, friends. I have a cat to attend to. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to last very long, but we did have her there for a minute, so that was very nice. But yeah, couple of things I've been working on. I'll show off. Namely, it's been my Stream Deck setup, but we'll show that in a bit. But I think it's time for our check-in. So last week was weird. We had some really good progress on the show, on the build that we're working on. I know I mentioned last Sunday that we struck the show, the previous one, the big one. I struck it, a couple hours after I was done streaming last Sunday. I know I talked about it a little bit on Wednesday, but wow, I must be really tired. But we got it struck and really started building the new one. Got a majority of the big set pieces cut and built. Not necessarily painted and finished, because we're going to do a lot of that in the space. But we also had some students that I tried my best to be supportive, but the situations as they are, they just got some news that they weren't happy about, and I tried my best to be there to the best, to help, but I can only do so much. One, as a educator, and two, as a outside party that wasn't really involved in any of the situations directly. So I reached out a hand. We'll see if they need it. But yeah, the build itself is getting into a little bit of a stride, so that part of everything is a little bit not boring, but yeah. The Growth S&P situation, we had our first, well, my first, they've probably had a few of them, but my first foray into a weekly or monthly meeting. And I realized that I am one of two people in that server that are over 25. Uh, so it's not a problem by any means. Like, it's not a problem that I am old in that server. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. And the other person who is my same age is exactly the same age as I am. We're both in our mid 30s. So that has been a fun little realization is that on this server, everybody aside from one other person is under the age of 25. Not a huge deal, but it does mean that I'm playing with a bunch of people who are as old as my students or younger. So that has been, again, an interesting revelation, not necessarily a problem. But yeah, so we are, like I said, getting into the thick of it with our build and stuff and with the show. And then on the server, one of the next things that we are going to do, preferably Wednesday or this upcoming week, I'm going to go out into the world, find myself a dark oak forest, claim it, and start building my starter base. I have two options for my starter base right now. One, I want to build a pirate ship that is kind of essentially crashed into the dark oak forest. Or B, I want to do a very bare bones, because it is a starter base. I want to do a bare bones, like haunted house looking thing in an effort to eventually work up to maybe the pirate ship. But the pirate ship idea, I really want to build up in the sky because I like the idea of a flying pirate ship. And it means that it's a late game thing because then I have the opportunity to fly up to this base and drop down from it. So we'll see. It's probably going to be the little haunted house idea, which means we'll do some stuff in creative to narrow down what we're looking for and go from there. So I'm excited. Where are we now with stuff? That's where we were. And I kind of got into the where we are, but right now I need to remember to take the trash out. But more importantly, I'm in good morning, pocket sized bard. How are you? Also, I realized something. It's pocket sized bard. Isn't it supposed to be pocket sized bard with a D? I'm just curious if that was intentional or if I just made a grammar realization for you. Just not sure what your intention was, so I don't want to assume either way. Are you excited for the show? I just got done talking about it. Oh, yeah. I added chat back to my just chatting screen. So it'll actually show chat. It disappears over the course of, I think, 30 seconds. It fades away. But it's just a nice little pop-up that will occur. Any of the chats that go by will show up over there and then disappear after 30 seconds. You're starting your coffee? Smart coffee. Good call. Also, something I really love about the chat thing that I got is that whatever your name is like the color of your name in chat is what your box is over here. So that way all of the text can be white. And then as people send messages, it updates the background of their text bubble to the label of yeah, that whole thing. Clean the kitchen while you listen. I love to hear it. Speaking of which, I am going to adjust because I realized, is it chat highlights? No, it's the highlighter. Sorry. I realized that I had the VIP and subscriber thing turned on. That was like big highlight in chat, so that way it's like I don't see as many messages go by anymore, which given that a lot of subscribers are the ones who chat the most often, it meant that I wouldn't be able to see that many chat messages in my window at once. So I just did the minimized highlight, so that way I still recognize, hey, it's a subscriber talking, but it's not this big old box. So but yeah, so where are, well, I guess one last thing that's kind of a pseudo last week, but now had our first big projections crew call yesterday to get things kind of situated and connected and communicating. Fun size. Okay. Yeah, and I think in the candy format it doesn't have a D, so you were correct. So it's pocket size. Totally makes sense. But yes, so we had our big first projections call, got all our networks hooked up, and I feel really good about the progress that we made. It wasn't everything I wanted to do, but I think it's because I only had one of my crew people instead of two. So we just worked a little bit slower, which wasn't a big deal because it allowed me to communicate with that crew person about what we're doing, what's the process next, what's this part do, that sort of stuff. So that was nice. And now that everything's connected, I can do a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. So that way, when we get back together this upcoming Saturday, I can then jump into it with both of them and hopefully show them a little bit more in the realm of like the design side of it, not just the tech. So excited about that. But upcoming, I know I mentioned that other crew call. It's the big load in for our show. On Tuesday morning, we load in the whole thing into the space. We clamp it off. We start putting lids on stuff so that way that evening we can have a designer run rehearsal in the space with all of the actors, all of the technicians and designers, and watch the show for the first time together. And then that way we can, kind of get a better understanding of what we're all looking at. I'm excited about that. Tuesday, tomorrow and Tuesday. Me too. Tomorrow and Tuesday are going to be pretty extreme when it comes to the rate at which we're working. Tomorrow is going to be a big paint day for us. I think later this afternoon or tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to go make a purchase of some lumber. Not a big purchase, but a purchase all the same. So that way I can start painting out the floor pieces that are going in. And then I got to do a little bit of work on the realm of some examples to send over to our director for some ideas for projections that I have, as well as develop the sliding dirt patch, if you will, that needs to be built into the set. So again, exciting things happening. I'm really hoping that we're able to get the ball rolling and be in a good spot for things as they develop. So, but again, that's where I was, where I am, where I'm headed. Again, any of these things that I talk about any of these subjects, these categories, you're all free and available to discuss them as well. Like I want to know where you came from, where you are, where you're headed. So that way we can be on a good level playing field together. But while we're talking, while we're having our coffee, and while we're hanging out, I am going to pull up my Stream Deck and kind of talk over some of the stuff, some of the changes and adjustments that I've made to it. And then we can kind of talk about some of the other things that I'm thinking of doing with it in the near future. So let's jump over here. So as you can see, this is my what I call the Stream Deck Beyond. This is my actual like OBS specific Stream Deck. So this one really gets me the most bang for my buck when I actually am streaming. It allows me to switch all of the scenes that I have on a regular basis, pre-show, post-show, intermission. Intermission is just anything that I'm doing with an overlay of the intermission screen. So that way, if I need to, I can just mute my mic. And then that way, when I'm ready to go, I can turn off the intermission and just go back to what I was doing. So that way I don't have to go to like a separate screen and you kind of see where I left off. And then tech issues is just music and just the intermission screen. So I won't shift to that because I'll disappear. And then post show is the one that you all know, where the beard shows up, it slides across, it shows my logo, it says thank you for watching, that screen. Obviously, just chatting is where we came from. Content is where we are. Guest chatting is this, so that way I can have a guest over here. The guest camera. Wait, can I turn it on? Hold on. I can. So that way I have my guest screen, so that way when I'm streaming with Kayla or otherwise. This also allows me to do a virtual camera, so that way if I'm streaming with somebody else remote, I'll be able to do that. And then, of course, this friend, which I realized I probably need to adjust a little bit, because right now this main content thing is includes the phone. It's also the same camera shot in two different locations. Yeah, this one is a little foobar. I'm gonna have to go back and fix it. But yeah, so that's the current layout of buttons on this. The middle one just switches to the D&D version of this screen. So it just changes a couple things. One, you'll notice in the bottom left, it adjusts from the sources to players, so the player count. And then it's got a D2 flip, a D20, and another D20. So that way I can push both of them and do advantage, disadvantage. I have a dice bag. Obviously, I push the top right button. So this is all the standard D numbers. And if I need to, it's really, really easy for me to copy and paste this down and do a custom math sort of situation. So I can like take the median, I can add a value, I can do all that stuff. Small map, big map, obviously. Small map, which is the screen that you're looking at, is the pardon me. Screen you're looking at is the actual content, and then I have the players off to the side, which right now there are currently no players. So you can kind of see this, but if I switch to the players, you'll see it's just a standard like numpad looking layout. So if I switch to 6 players to show them all off, it brings up all 6 players. Now, nobody is connected, so it's just got the RGB CMY layout, but I can switch between the different player layouts by just pushing the button. Obviously, this was one of the last setups I had, which was 4 players, and then another one that I just did, which was 3 players, then 2. Hey!
Hello, motherfucker.
Thank you so much for the Caffeinate Pocket-Sized Bard. The one layout that I don't have, you'll notice that the number 1, yes, awesome, get your coffee. But the one layout I currently don't have is the 1 player. You'll see it's labeled NFG for non-functioning goober. I don't know. But NFG means non-functioning gear, so I just put it on there because the button doesn't work. But eventually that'll allow me to put, like, on this side, just 1 person right here, and then maybe some info on the bottom of the screen. I'm not sure. Right now, this is what I have. And then it switches it on both the big map and the small map. So this is small map. And I could switch to big map, and you'll see that the 2 players are directly underneath me, laid out appropriately. Yeah. And again, no matter what button I push over here, push 5, it'll then go in there and rearrange all of those buttons and all of those layouts, so that way it turns on the correct amount. I personally, when I'm not doing anything, I just keep it at 0, so that way it's not using up resources in the background. But yeah, that is the D&D layout. So we can go back to this, so that way it's the layout I remember. In the, actually, I'm going to show this off so that way I can change my status, but I'm going to go to this one, which is categories, and it allows me to drop a chat message that will change the game type or the stream type with a chat command. So I can just push the science and technology, because that's technically what I'm doing, and it'll say stream category set to science and technology. So if you look below me, or if you look in the info on your phone of what the stream is about, it now says science and technology instead of just chatting. So that's what the categories button does. Scenes is just a couple of the scenes that I don't actually utilize on stream. They're just in the background, so that way I can call to them. This just allows me to be able to switch to them quickly without having to grab my mouse and do something with it. I can just hit it over here, make that adjustment. It's usually only when I'm doing a bunch of fixes. So you'll notice the one thing about this that's kind of universal is that it's laid out. The stuff that's here is like the main chunks of the visual screen. So like the main content, which is the computer screen that you're looking at right now, that's underneath me and underneath the goal bar, that is the main content window, which is its own scene, so that way I can toggle stuff within it. Overlays is the stuff that goes over top of everything, i.e. if I drop, some emotes, which we're just going to go nuts with real quick. This is the overlays scene. It's just got all of the emote wall. It's got alerts, so that way, if somebody follows, I'll just do this one because it's actually, you know what? I'm going to do a bits because it's nice, short, sweet, and it looks cool. So the little alert thing that's down there, that is from the overlays screen. So that way it can be everywhere. Oh, there you go. I need to fix the emote wall because when people do like a big string, it's all together. So it does like a wipe instead of the dropping rain like I want it to. So I have to make some adjustments. So thank you for showing that. And then obviously Dustin cam, guest cam. So that way my camera is in one scene and then I reference it for everything else. So that way I'm not using up multiple resources. Same thing with the guest cam. So that way I can get get to that scene real quick and make adjustments. And then finally, timers and system audio. All of the stuff that I use audio-wise in every scene is in a scene called System Audio. So it's my microphone, it's QLab for sound effects, it's my standard music level, like the one that's underneath my voice, the text to speech. So that way, see, and that's the other thing is that when people post one emote, there's a chance that it won't show up on screen because of how things are laid out. Actually, I'm going to go into studio mode real quick and see if I can't fix that, because that is going to be really annoying if transform, fit to screen, boop. And cool. Try it one more time. It shouldn't happen this time. It should actually be visible on screen. So yeah, System Audio has all of that stuff. So the stuff that I use on every scene is just in one scene, so that way I can toggle things on and off. Mainly my mic and any sound effects. There it is. My mic and any voice effects, any QLab stuff like that. I could turn things on and off. Like when people resubscribe, they can type in a text-to-speech message and then it'll play back. Well, if I'm doing something like a D&D stream, I don't want that to play back, so I'm able to turn that off and turn it off everywhere instead of in individual scenes. So it's a nice little thing. Then obviously timers is where all of these bad boys live. So I'll go to sources because this is where it is next. But the timers that pop up above me and the stopwatch. So that way everything is in one scene, and that way I can put it on this scene and I can put it here. So say I start a 10-minute timer here for something and then we switch to actually starting to play a game, the timer will keep counting regardless of what screen I'm on, so that way it doesn't screw things up. And I think it's on, it's supposed to be here. I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, I don't think it's on this screen. I think it's on this one though. Yeah, it's right down all the way at the bottom of this screen. So that's where the timers are hidden, so that way I can always call it up when I need to. But yeah, also in sources, you'll see main mic toggle button on the left. So if I hit main mic and then I could switch to voice mod. Voice mod is not open right now because I'm still playing with it, but that's what that toggle will do. I could turn on and off the Discord feed, because right now I'm not doing anything on Discord. So if I connect to a Discord channel for one reason or another, I don't want that audio coming onto the stream unless I absolutely want it to. So it's currently off. I have toggle buttons for the 4K screen, which is connected to my Mac Mini. Turn that off. Remote, and then my ATEM Mini. The ATEM Mini is what controls my Xbox, my Switch, and my MacBook, and eventually my PC once I get my hands on that. So that'll be switching between 4 different devices on one screen, so that way I don't have to have multiple capture cards. So that'll be super nice. The phone toggle is the same thing as my Mini. It just turns on the phone, which I think I can open that up over here so that way you can see what it does. Yeah, so if I open up, I have a Video Ninja source that's just always linked on my phone, so that way I can then turn this on. And in theory, it's not what I said. Well, that's cool. It's not working. Well, I'll figure that out later. Anyway. And then I have Dustin Cam toggle, which switches between my face and my PNG tuber. Haven't been using it very often, but that's the way to switch it. The phone toggle that switches between Phone Ninja and then Phone NDI, depending on what I want to do, which we'll do the NDI one because I have a feeling that one will actually work. Maybe, we'll see. Again, all of this is being a lot more picky than I remember last. Oh, that's why. I haven't actually used this new phone with this setup yet. So now it's phone NDI that if I turn the phone on, this is why we do tests, friends. Oh, that's weird. Hey, how are you? We're just doing a lot of, I'm going to call it fun. But what is really happening is that everything is freaking out on me. But I am doing a quick little like overview stuff on my Stream Deck and the updates that I've made. But what up, Knight? How are you? Yes, Stream Deck. I got a few of them. I got my Stream Deck Beyond, Stream Deck Main, Stream Deck Mini, and then I have my iPhone because I like to stream out in my living room. And instead of bringing my whole setup out there, I just do a temporary 1-month subscription of the Stream Deck phone app, and then I could just bring my phone out there, connect with Wi-Fi, and do all the stuff that you're looking at right here. So yes, that's what all of these things are. And then again, guest local, and then guest local, guest ninja. The reason that's important is because I can swap between the camera that's actually in the room or a camera that is elsewhere. So again, if I'm connecting with somebody, so that way we can say play a, like what is it? I did a co Minecraft stream with Beaky B, which by the way, let's do a shout out to her.
Hello. Look. Hey. Listen.
But Beaky B is an incredible human being. But she joined my stream without actually ever being in the room. She was at her place, I was at mine. She connected to a Video Ninja link, and I got her camera and her audio from that, so that way I could put it in as a guest. And then that way we could stream together as if we were in the same location, but we were just, like 20, 30 miles apart from each other. But so that's what the guest ninja is for. And then the last one that's on this is the test. So that way, if I decide to go live to test some things one day, I could throw this up. So that way, if anybody tunes in, they'll know that that's what I'm doing. I usually don't do microphone for test streams. I don't do music for test streams. It's just me testing some features so that way I can go look at my VODs. And I usually do it on my my bot account, which is the one that shows up, the one that says Chanbot. I usually do it over there because I don't have any followers. But if I'm doing anything big, I can go over and make the changes over there. So from there, I mentioned scenes, categories. I have a bunch of categories that are just ready to go because I play these games so often, so that way I can just jump in and make it happen. Oh yeah, and I'm going to be at some point in my Discord. I'm hoping to be hosting a tech support roundtable. That we're going to get all the streamers that are in my Discord together. We're going to go over kind of what I'm doing right now, as well as any cool OBS tricks that they may have. To help other streamers as well as aspiring streamers. I think out of my Discord, we've had 4 or 5 people that were just viewers that turned around and went, oh my God, I could do this, and are now affiliate Twitch streamers. Like they jumped in, they got the job done, they had a lot of fun, they asked questions along the way, and now they're affiliates. So I'm very proud of the fact that my community can get others onto platforms and just start running with it. Yeah. Oh, my microphone is peaking. I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to the gain input of my microphone. I think it's a little bit too loud. So yes, I have all these. The ones all the way to the right, I actually need to change. So look at that. Sounds clear? Good. I need to change the background because they don't do the same thing that these do. So I think what I'll do is hopefully change them to something a little bit more. That'll do. So these ones on the right that I'm changing the color of do something a little bit different than the other ones do. So all these ones just do set game type and change my game type. That's all they do. But the ones on the right do something a little bit more intuitive and intense. Is they help me set up my chat bot for whatever type of stream I'm doing. If I'm doing a normal stream, which is what we're doing right now, all of my XP redemptions are open except for a few. I'll go over that in a second. All my bit redemptions are open. There's certain chat commands that are turned on and off. But the guest stream turns on a couple experience redemptions and bit redemptions, so that way you can actually send a message to the stream. All of my, yes, and that's something I'm actually, I'm funny enough, I'm hoping that my growth SMP, my time on growth SMP allows me to make a little bit of a shift. Not that I'm going away from Twitch, but make a little bit of a shift because I want to be able to stream and then do sections of that stream that are purely because I'm going to turn it around and make it into a YouTube video. I'm going to utilize Growth SMP as a way to be able to hone my craft in that way. And then I want to turn around and I want to do other things. The biggest thing right now for me is timing. It's really hard for me to do Twitch live stream and YouTube. So if I'm recording YouTube videos while I stream, it kind of takes a little bit of that chunk away. I do work full time. Yeah, I am a full time entertainment designer and professional for a university here up in Michigan. So I work 9 to 5, which is a fancy way of saying that's when I do my normal work. And then after 5, especially when we get into theater and other shows, I'm usually there until about 11 p.m. 2 weeks out of every other month. So, yeah, if you, I think it's, what is it? That is the wrong command. Hey, there it is. Yeah, that's my professional portfolio if you were ever curious. Do you use StreamBot? No, I will show you exactly what I use here in a moment. It is called Lumia Stream. It is a on system, and they're currently working on the cloud version for people who don't want to have a bot on their machine. But it is a fully immersive chatbot and service. It's what's controlling all of my chatbot commands, all of my lights, with some, little caveats because it doesn't do all of my lights. There's a software in between that does some things. Triggers sound effects, does a bunch of other stuff. We'll dive into that here in a second because I made some changes over there as well. But again, all this stuff on the right, these pink ones, or these magenta ones, sorry, change my chatbot and a couple other things with OBS to allow for certain things to get stripped away and added based on what type of stream I'm doing. And honestly, it just matters about how many guests I have. That's the best way, is because if I have a guest or more, we run into a situation where I need to get rid of some distractions so that way I can pay attention to the guest. And that's kind of what those things do. Lastly, but not leastly, here on this Beyond Stream Deck, I have just my standard, like, go-to chatbot commands. So that way I can just drop the, hey, you're looking for a big list of the commands that you can use in chat. There's that. Hey, you want to control my lights? Those sort of thing. Is that a command I should add? The English one? See, and that's the other thing is that, yes, I've been doing this for 2 years, but that doesn't mean that I know all those like go-to ones. No. And that's not the case. It's more of like, if I know these standard ones that people kind of shoot for, it allows me to dial in, because this chatbot Lumia Stream is fully customizable. It only comes with like 5 or 6 like standard ones. Everything else, it's up to me about what it is, what it does, and how it works. So, but yeah, so we got a bunch of different things on here to just get to people quicker, so that way I can just drop it faster. So yeah, and then just want to blast through the other Stream Decks that I have, because they're a lot more utilitarian. They're not as pretty looking. But my Stream Deck main is just a bunch of buttons to open up apps quicker, so I can do some like application switching, as well as a sleep all button that sleeps all of my Stream Decks at once, so that way I can take away that distraction if I'm not streaming. Yeah, I think I have lurk, unlurk, socials. I don't have pronouns. I need to add that. My previous bot had a way to set your pronouns. Was it in chat? There was a way to do that, and I was really, really loving it. But since I switched, I haven't been able to add something. So I will definitely make that one. I do have specs. As you can see, it dropped after you entered it. I do, yes. It's on my Stream Deck Mini, which I'll show here in a second. But yeah, a bunch of those I already have. The English one I don't, pronouns I don't, but the other ones I believe I have. The Twitter one I don't, because I'm currently taking a step away from Twitter because it's not the platform it used to be, and I'm starting to see a lot of things that are harming some of my friends and content creators that I don't know. It's getting harder. English. Oh, that's so smart. You know what? I'm going to copy and paste, and we are going to add that into my chat bot shortly. So yeah, this again, just utilitarian. If you press on the Spotify one, it's just music for play pause for Spotify, but also Apple Music. I do use Apple Music every once in a while. The OSC one is just for my video switcher, so that way I can get to various things with my video switcher. Like if I want to, I can throw up. Wait a sec. I should probably be on. There we go. So I can throw up color bars. I can throw up just a color which matches the border, so that way it looks like nothing's up. I can do opposite of my color, so that way I can do some contrasting, and then just a logo. And then obviously the other stuff that I need to do, but that's neither here nor there. But those are some toggles for that sort of stuff, so I can just do it real quick. And then the apps that actually control my thing in the background are here and there. Twitch has just got, if I want to run an ad, what type of chat I'm running, if it's shield mode, number of viewers. Oh, that's a sad number, but you know what? I don't care. I'm not here for viewers. I'm here to have a good time. Clear chat, create clip, create marker, all that great stuff. And then last but not leastly, oh, it's lying? Fine. I don't even look at viewers. I don't have a link to it anywhere. That was the first time that I even looked at viewers since I started streaming 51 minutes ago. So, Lumia stream button. This is just a toggle for me to test all of my alerts, because that's the other thing, is alerts are all through Lumia stream as well. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So that way I can test. Yeah, of course. So like I'm gonna push these in order. So the figure with the plus is a follow. So if I push that button, this happens. If I do a subscribble. And then I have Raid, which is very on brand.
Hello? Look! Hey! Listen!
I also just realized, why did the shout out work? So shout out is only supposed to work for VIPs, subscribers, and me. Oh, and my mods. So I'm curious about how you were able to run my shout out command. I'm going to have to look into that in a second. Anyway, I probably just didn't set the setting right. But yeah, you didn't? Oh, it was the raid. I get it now. So yeah, that was the thing. You said Wilted Gray, and I thought for some reason you triggered it. That was my bad. I have it so that way if anybody raids me, it waits 2 seconds, and then the raid does it automatically. That's what happened. Sorry about that, Knight. I accused you unfairly. So yeah, once the raid runs its course and the raid alert, it then does an automatic shout out for whoever that person was. I used to do clips, but I've run into a couple situations based on what we're streaming that when the clip would play, it wouldn't be an appropriate content for what we were doing on the stream at that time. So I didn't want to do that anymore. And it also gave me a little bit of anxiety of not knowing what was coming. So I just give a link. I say, please check them out if you have time. That sort of thing. But yeah, that's what that stuff does. And then I have just some other simple toggles for that stuff. And then last little Stream Deck that I have, Stream Deck Mini. This thing is just a paged button thing. This right here, the live button, all that does, it's very simple actions, but it does a handful of things. It puts me, this is the live button, so it puts me in pre-show, it waits 4 seconds, and then it starts my stream. This puts me in post-show, waits 25 seconds, stops my stream. The only reason I don't have anything more complicated is because I realized I have a really customizable setup, and I didn't want to have to hit a button and have a bunch of different actions trigger that I may not need that day. So I just simplified it to the stuff that allows me to just kind of go. And if I push it while it's in that delay period, it will stop that process. So that way I don't accidentally stop or start my stream, which is nice. And then I have guest and phone toggles. Guest is for this camera, and then phone is obviously for the phone that I need to tweak and adjust. And then a quick little toggle to get to the OBS app if I absolutely need it. Lumia Stream, just quick toggles, because I realized that a couple things happened all the time. One, people ask me, ooh, what can I do with the lights? And I have a lights button. Ooh, I can play sound effects. They hit the sound button. Or it's just like, oh, can you show me some some light effects? What can your lights do? I have a quick little RGB toggle, so that way I could show people all the fun stuff that my Lumia Stream app can do. From here, we have a quick Discord one. It's mute deafen and then push to mute, which is the little yellow one. I'm a push to mute fan, not a push to talk fan, because I constantly have my hands on the keyboard, and I would rather mute when I don't want to talk to stream and then let it loose and just use really good voice suppression and a gate for my voice. And then that last one is just a Spotify toggle, so that way I can play pause really quick, next, last, and open up Spotify. So, but yeah, so that is my Stream Deck. Now, the thing that Knight wants to see, and I'm sure a couple people else probably want to see, is my actual chat bot, which is Lumia Stream. So this thing is very freaking powerful. Like, I'm talking, it can do, it slices, it dices, it can cut your dog's hair. Like, it is a fantastic little app. And I say little when it's probably one of the most powerful things in my stream. So yeah, it's just got quick chat message, because then I can test stuff in here and I don't actually have to open up Twitch. I don't have to open up OBS. I can just run this. It's got a running list of all the things that are currently connected. It's got logs of what has happened. So you'll see like Twitch alert raid, set alerts to default, triggered shout out, and it says next in queue, chat command shout out, and it does all these things for me. It's very technology heavy. But if you really get into it, it starts to become a lot easier to run. I think first, before we do anything, is just jump into commands. So in commands, they're all grouped up. So I'll do all commands. But I have a big old list of all the different chat commands that I can use. Some of them, obviously, you can see the checkboxes. Some of them are enabled, some of them aren't. But it allows me to set up things on my computer, and also I can open up this app from anywhere. All of the information is stored in the cloud, but the apps themselves run on my computer. So I can have this on a separate computer, make some adjustments, come back here, and all those adjustments are there. This was actually, it is not, it is PC and Mac, and again, they're working on a cloud version that'll work in a browser. But yeah, it's Lumia Stream. I'm actually, funny enough, self-plug, I am a Lumia Stream affiliate. So if you use the code that's in chat, reference Channy, you get a discount when you check out. So that way you can give it a shot. You can use almost all of the bot for free. There are just certain things that you need. Channy is actually the nickname of my cat, Chandler. This is the Channy emote. Which ones aren't for free? There's actually, I believe there's a list. Give me a moment. We can actually, let's do this. Ask and you shall receive. So if we go to, is it products? No. It's not what I wanted. Where is it? Where is it? This isn't very helpful. Their FAQ is just a blog post. That's fun. Oh, of course, on the download page. So the free is Alerts, OBS, Streamlabs desktop app, um, Lumia Stream overlays, all this stuff. Custom chatbot is premium. So if you don't want it to say Lumia Stream in chat, you have to pay for it. The studio side of thing, animations not involved in free. So yeah, that's why the Chanbot thing shows up, is because I have a Twitch account called Chanbot that is a moderator of my account, and it just sends all the messages through that account as opposed to the Lumia Stream like main account in chat. So it's the API is open and free, so that way if you want to do any customizations and input and export of certain commands, the API is open. Fuse buildups and themes are not involved in the free version. Buildups actually allow you to use things like polls, votes, emote usage, and actually take your lights and make them do something, like make them flicker a little bit faster. The Chanbot is from my cat as well. Yes. But buildups are super cool. Fuse allows you to have the music and audio change your lights. So like if you're listening to something intense, you can watch the lights pulse based on something. But again, like the premium side is obviously everything, but like chat aliases, basically, right now in Lumia Stream, any of my chatbot commands, I can actually set a alias that allows me to have it be triggered by more than one thing, and that is a premium only feature. Unlimited chat commands. That is the one of the reasons that it pushed me over the edge of wanting to get premium and then eventually becoming affiliate, is that you're limited on how many chat commands you can do. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it does say when you have the free version how many you're allowed to add, and I realized very quickly I was going to hit that number. And that's the same thing with Twitch point commands and extension commands. It's limited. And then last but not leastly, I'm not playing right now. This one right here, user levels, that one was another one, is that I wanted to restrict some of my commands based on subscriber or VIP or what have you. Like right now, there's only a handful of commands that anyone can just use. Most of them are at least follower. So that way you have to be a follower to actually use some of my commands. But yeah, again, this page in particular is super useful to kind of see what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, and it's got the auto toggle right here, free for Mac, premium for Mac, and you're good to go. So yes, all my commands, which by the way, if I open up this again, that's the wrong thing. I meant to hit, where the heck is it? There it is. So this page is probably one of my favorites. It actually allows me to give a nice little display. I actually have to update my photo, but a nice little web page of all of the commands that you can use in chat and the variations. So that way, if there's a word that you like better that you want to use, and then what level you have to be to actually use that thing. All the Twitch point commands and their levels that to use them. All my bit redemptions and how to use them. All that stuff is on one page instead of having to go in like 5 different places. Yes, I do love it. I love it very much. And they have a fantastic Discord support community that allows you to just jump in, ask questions. There's no stupid questions. And I actually helped them develop a better version of their OSC triggers, which is Open Sound Control, that allowed me to use Lumia Stream to trigger 3 different apps in the background to control my lights, control sound, as well as what I call my tiny mic monologues. It's a little tiny blue mic that I can trigger sound effects on. I came across it because of actually BB Jess. I was watching one of BB Jess's streams way back in the day, and loved all the interaction she had. I learned that she was a theater kid turned streamer, and I was just like, oh, that's like me. Like, I'm a theater kid turned streamer. I know that some things have happened in the recent past that with BB Jess and her ex boyfriend that are kind of crappy, which I hate. But I think that she's on the redemption arc, so we'll see how that goes. That being said, she was my first little like, I'm interested in X. So I went digging and looked for apps that can control the lights that I already had, which I just got some really, really cheap color changing LEDs from Amazon. And then I took that and ran with it and found Lumia Stream. And then all it took was like, I think a week for me to get all of the light stuff up and running. So that way I could trigger the stuff that I have back here, different versions of what's back here. I've upgraded since then. And then I would say about 2 months for me to completely convert all of my chatbot commands over to this app. And then I'm still currently in the process. I've been affiliate for about a year, but I'm currently still in the process of getting some of the overlays. So like chat, the follower goal stuff, the latest stuff that's underneath me, try to get all of that stuff converted over as well, because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm relying on all these different services when I have one that can do it all. But yeah, we have the standard chatbot commands. These are the ones that are built in. You can see shootout because shout out was conflicting. Commands, uptime, follow age is here. Chat GPT. Chat GPT is currently enabled in my my chatbot. I have not used it, but I believe you just type in Chat GPT and then your question or message, and then it will respond. Like, I believe it is just Chat GPT. How's the weather? I wonder if Chat GPT. Oh, I have to turn it on. I haven't turned it on yet, so it isn't enabled. Well, so we'll go into the connections. We'll do that right now because I want it. I want it real bad. I'm probably going to turn this on for specific. Oh, I got to get an API key. Okay, we'll do this later. I'll probably make it so that way only subscribers and VIPs can use ChatGPT, just so that way it doesn't get too crazy. But yeah, and then again, I have my Twitch points, all the ones that you can use for my experience points, and then Twitch extensions, so anything that you can use bits for, and what it entails. So, yeah, that's commands. And then alerts you can do so much with. These are all the different things that can be triggered via a Twitch action, something that just happens on Twitch. Stream goes live, stream goes offline, poll started, poll ended. If somebody's banned, if I receive a shout out on another channel, I can get an alert that says, hey, you got shouted out somewhere. If somebody makes a clip, somebody joins the channel, leaves the channel, I don't use any of that stuff because that's a little bit too intrusive, especially for lurkers, so I don't use a lot of that stuff. YouTube, I have enabled some stuff because I have streamed on YouTube before. And then OBS stuff, anything that changes in OBS, I can then have an action triggered over here. Same thing with Spotify. I do have the ability to create Spotify next and last things. And my thought was that I could create polls that if people don't like the music, they can do skip and if Skip gets enough votes, then Spotify song requests and stuff like that. I can totally do stuff like that. I just haven't really dug into it enough to make it happen. But that's something that's been added within the last month or so, maybe a little bit longer. And I just haven't added it to my stream. And then from here, there's a bunch of other stuff. The studios where you actually create some of your light effects. Input control is how you can get information into Lumia Stream from other apps and other services. Automations, you'll notice every 15 minutes I have something that's dropped in chat automatically. That's where this is. The overlay system, which is where I have the chat that was in my just chatting, as well as the emote wall. I will be, again, adding more stuff in here. This is just the only overlays that I currently have. All the variables, custom or otherwise, that currently exist. So that way I can dump information into these variables to be used in other commands. That is a great question. Yep, chat lines right there. Minimum number of chat lines required to activate this automation. I'm going to set that right now, because that is something that I definitely want to do, because I run into a situation constantly where my chatbot is the only thing talking to me on some streams. I'm not a big streamer, okay? It's a thing. Currently, I'm only able to, and then when my chatbot is back online, it says Design and Conquer, my friends. I currently only stream 2 times a week, Sunday mornings and Wednesday evenings. I will be potentially shifting to Tuesday evenings, if not Tuesday, Thursday. I'm trying to figure it back out because I'm finally getting more free time again. So yes, you can also create what are called virtual lights. That is something that's been added recently that allows you to create basically a light variable that allows you in overlays and other things to have a object react the same way that a light would, which is how I got the border around my screen to change color when I get a follower and stuff like that. The community section is fantastic. It's got color scenes, reactions, animations that people have created and uploaded, so that way you don't have to go through the hard work of building it yourself. But so an object react to something in chat. Yes, you can do that sort of stuff. So commands chat match, that you can do a chat match that if something pops up in chat, I can do something that just kind of happens. One of the things that I'm planning on doing a little bit later is that it allows Hey Jay Frecka, really need to get with you about overlays and alerts setup. Also, hi, hope stream is very good. Thank you for asking, my friend. I hope you are well. For anybody wondering, I'm doing this right now, my friend. This is happening. I hope you're ready. Jay Frecka is a fantastic Doom Eternal player. He does play some other games, but Doom Eternal, my jaw is on the floor watching this human being play this game. Legitimately, check him out. Fantastic player. But yeah, so chat match allows that if anything drops in chat that happens often, that's something that I want to see on the regular, then I can have that reaction happen and then my lights change, or a sound effect or something like that. One of the things that I'm 7TV, no. I have what is it? Better TTV. I have those, and Uh, I think that's the only one that I've really played around with. I have some that exist for Better TTV, but oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I have to look into further. I haven't really touched my emotes in like 4 months. I don't change them very often, but 7TV, I'm going to have to check that out. Oh, that's awesome. Legit. Okay, thank you. I'm learning so much right now. I'm learning so much. Thank you. Yeah, no, I know I have the Twitch emotes, but I can add extra ones. The biggest thing is that I want to yes, that I knew about, and I know what is it, like Franker Face and all those other things exist, but welcome to the Chan Fam. I didn't realize you weren't a follower already. Thank you. Welcome to the Chan Fam. Yes, the lights are always back, my friend. Yes, and that's the other part is that with Chat Match, um, I can do that with lights and sound. So it's not just an emote pops up. It's also like right now. Let's play around with this. I have no problem playing around with this because this is super fun. So if I do add match, I can do what do I want to do with this? Like what do I want to happen? And I think I'll do trigger light. Or nope, I won't do a light. I'm going to do a sound effect because that one uh so I need streaming AV. Let's do finish line Mario. Complete. Next. So let's do test and oops, test. Thank you so much for the lurk. I really appreciate that. And enjoy your dinner. Thank you for the follow. I'm hoping that we can connect again, possibly even in the server. Again, the it looks like our time zones are opposite of each other, but maybe we can connect in the server sometime soon. So that, and then accept all messages. What am I looking for? Well, I am going to look for just winner. So it's going to look for winner. So if I type in winner, well, let's do lowercase to see if it, okay, it finds it if it's lowercase too. Cool. So we'll do that. Next step, duration 1 second. Everybody can do it. Complete and save. Refresh my system. So it'll then say design and conquer my friends in the chat when it's ready to go. And then anytime somebody types winner, it should trigger that sound effect. Unless something just broke. Oh, that's what happened. We did the lurk happened at the same time. Okay, so winner. That's weird. Oh, that's what's happening. It's playing in my ears, but it's not playing for stream because I don't have that linked up. Anyway, it did go by. Unfortunately, it didn't do exactly what I was hoping because I didn't have it set up correctly. I got so excited. But let's do a light. We're gonna do a light. If I do, why isn't it letting me do lights? That's weird. Well, regardless, I'm going to delete. It was running, but it's not doing what I need it to, so I'm going to step away. But again, that sort of stuff can be triggered. Um, it is subscription based. That being said, a majority of the stuff that it does is free. There are a handful of things that it does that aren't. But the big stuff, you just go to lumiastream.com/downloads. Hopefully, if you do a subscription, you use my code at any point. The code is Channie, CHANNIE. But for the free version, again, you get so much for free. It's just a handful of things that are premium features, and the price is not that bad. That is not what I wanted, but oh well. But yes, very, very happy with Lumia Stream and what it can do. I think the only other thing in here is just all the various connections that you can utilize. Obviously, Twitch, YouTube. Yes, the Ultra price. I think it's like $4 or $6 a month. It's pretty cheap. I did the yearly price, which was like 50. But it means that I don't have to worry about a monthly subscription. I just paid for it for a whole year, and then I'll just worry about it when it comes back around. But look at all of the different things that this can link with. All these different services: VoiceMod, StreamerBot, Ableton, Alexa, Ko-Fi, Hue, Nanoleaf, TP-Link, Wise, Govee lights, Logitech keyboards and mice, SteelSeries, which I have a SteelSeries desk mat, so it lights up when I get alerts and stuff. But yeah, so many different things that this thing can talk to, and they keep adding it. So yeah, I actually think, I'm going to switch to here because I'm not sure if there's any private data that's going to show up, so I don't want it to show up on the internet. So I'm just going to manage my subscription to see. So yeah, it is. Oh, so lifetime is $150. So buy it outright. It's always yours. You get the updates. Everything's fine. I do build yearly, which is $49.99. If you do 6 months, it is $24.99, or you can do monthly at $4.99. One of these days, I will probably do the lifetime because I don't want to pay. Because after using this for 3 years, I have the lifetime license anyway. So after my second year of using this, which is coming up soon, I will probably buy it outright and hopefully connect with the Lumia Stream people and be like, hey, I've done this for 2 years. Can I just pay an extra $50 and have it? I'm going to check with them. I have a communication with them, so hopefully I'll be able to utilize that connection. So yeah, that is the Lumia Stream side of stuff, which I'm going to get this out of the way. Yeah. My favorite things about also, I love that the chat thing is back because when I read the chat, I'm actually looking like at the box, which I think looks pretty cool. But if you ever consider getting some stuff, try to stray away from the Magic Home stuff. It's cheap and it works, but it flickers on camera. So don't if you can help it. Govee is great. Hue is great, obviously. Lifix is great, and Nanoleaf is great. If you're looking for anything like that, light-wise, definitely head in that direction. But we can have a conversation when you really get to it. But the hope as I progress with things is that I just keep adding, I just keep adjusting, because I don't want to be stuck in this situation where my stream is stagnant. I want things to change every time. I want to have a growing presence, and that's the only way to do it. One of the other things with my setup that I'm not going to change today, but we were on the subject, so I wanted to show it off, is this. So this is an app called QLab. This software allows me to do many, many things, but the biggest thing that it allows me to do that I use it for mostly is sound effects. So I can just reach up here and I have an iPad that actually is set up exactly like this. So I have a sound effects board. So it makes things super easy to trigger sound effects. Most of these can actually be triggered in chat with the sounds command. That if anyone can use all those, subscribers just use the back half ones. But you can use those in chat at any point, and they'll trigger these actual sound effects in QLab. So that way, I built it in one location, and I can trigger it, or somebody else can trigger it from chat. So I like it a lot. So that's the soundboard. We also have the alerts, which is anytime there is an alert that happens, subscriber, follower, all that stuff. It does two things. One, it plays the sound effect that you all heard, and then it tells my lighting software, which is EOS, it tells it to control my DMX lights behind me. Bit redemption's very similar. If you redeem a bit, it tells my lights to do stuff, and then it may play a sound effect of some kind. You can do most of this with without a license. You can do it with the free version. Yep. And that's the other thing, is that the overlays thing that is now in Lumia Stream will allow you to build those overlays with the intention that you may add lights, you may add sound effects in the near future. And it sets you up for that success since it's all in one app. Chat commands, it's only one. Shout out, like that's the only one that currently has a specific sound effect to it. Everything else is triggered by something else. Channel point redemptions obviously are here. Utilities, so these ones allow me to trigger certain things in the background, so I can have these built here and not have to cook them into everything. So that way, the default look of my lights back there is right here. So if something is triggering and for some reason doesn't go back to normal, this is where I can make that happen. This is where I can make all of my lights actually go off. So if I hit this, you'll notice all of the lights behind me will go to dark in 5 seconds. So they're all done. And then I can hit this again and it brings them all back. And then this sound effect right here, which I don't think you'll be able to hear. Yeah. That one is actually routed just to my ears. So when a chat command happens and I actually have people chatting, anytime somebody sends a new message, that sound effect plays in my ear. So that way I know that there's been a chat. That eventually may get turned off based on how popular my chat gets if I become this big old streamer. But for right now, it is currently on. So that way I can hear that and know that chat is happening. So that way I don't get distracted. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to show to the world. I think that's about it when it comes to my setup and the adjustments and changings that I've done. I do want to show this, though, to kind of show the layout of my desk that I've made adjustments to, because you all saw it a while ago, but I have made more changes. So obviously we got the disinfectant wipes, but no, we have, let's get a better angle. We have my general setup, obviously the microphone and stuff like that. We got my dual stream decks here, so that way I can control stuff. I have now pushed all of my audio further away from me, so I got my output volume, so what's going into my headphones. Input for my microphone is right here. Obviously my desk mat with my keyboard. My Stream Deck Mini is over here, so that way I got quick access with a right hand move as well. My clock has been moved over here. It used to be way over there, and I didn't look at it often enough, so now it's there. The sound effect triggers that I mentioned before are here. My switcher is here. I don't use it enough physically, which is why it's so far away. Normally, I just trigger it with my virtual Stream Deck buttons. Over here, Jay Frecka, you'll see the amazing new addition to my setup, my Xbox One. My Nintendo Switch is on top of it, as well as I have the charger for the Nintendo Switch controllers back there. Coffee water, and then my clamshell MacBook for when I am ready to do that sort of stuff. Oh, and my Mac Mini is back there in the corner where it always is. But now everything is kind of laid out a little bit better for me. And I'm not stuck in this weird limbo state of things getting added to my system and not really being able to find a correct place for it. I kept adding stuff, but never really like adjusting for that new added thing. It was always just more crap on my desk. The biggest reason for 2 Stream Decks, the honest answer is I bought one for mobile so I could take it with me when I do design stuff, and then I bought another one so that way I could use it for here on my desk. What has happened is that I plugged it into my streaming setup once because I realized that I needed a utilitarian Stream Deck as well as my actual streaming Stream Deck. So I realized I kept getting myself into situations where the computer that I'm using, I did more than just streaming on it, and I wanted to have quick hotkeys to things, and that Stream Deck allowed me to do that. And now that it's connected all the time, it allows me to do that. I can disconnect it very quickly, plug it into my other computer, and then we're off to the races, and I don't have to worry if I want to use something more mobile. But for right now, it's just a part of the system. My hope is that I'm going to pick myself up. I'm going to open up Google Chrome so we can look at this. Oh, that was some heavy dropped frames there for a second. So my hope is that I will be picking up this for my mobile setup now. I want to pick up the Stream Deck Plus because it will do everything that I'm looking for from a mobile Stream Deck setup. Because for the longest time, the Stream Decks are nice, but it's just tactile buttons. And I run into a lot of situations where I want a physical dial. This will do that for me. So I'm really hoping to pick this thing up the near future. Not necessarily like this week, next week, something like that. But if I pick this up, I can also get free dial caps. Oh my God. Purple for sure. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, that's super nice. Oh, for sure, my friend. I will definitely let you know. The cool thing about the Stream Deck Plus and why I really wanted to dive into it is somebody already is it this one? Yeah, if you utilize Companion, someone has already made a ETC EOS, which is the lighting control software and console that I use. Someone has already built it so that way you can control that lighting board with a Stream Deck Plus, which is super, super cool. But anyway, that all being said, Stream Deck Plus, that is something I am definitely looking for to add to my mobile setup. So the thing that I take with me to things, because it's a lot more close to what I need in a mobile setup, and it will not get added to my streaming setup because it will be bought specifically for the purpose of using it for mobile setups. So that is the Stream Deck Plus, something I'm very excited to potentially purchase. So we'll see how that ends up. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to get into the Growth SMP server today, but I did want to jump in. One, because there's a couple people here who weren't here for Wednesday, so I wanted to do a quick little update of where I am with stuff. But the other one is that I did some stuff last night off camera, and I wanted to show it off. I wanted to show it off to people. So I think we will jump into the craft of minds here, just to play around a little bit. It'll take me a second to get everything set up, but so yeah, let me close the clamshell, switch to here, and then get things up and running for us. So yeah, what I was able to do recently in the growth SMP server was jump into organization mode, because very soon, I will be looking, as I said, I will be looking for a starter base home location, because right now I have early game starter base. Like, that's all I have right now. Also, I need to adjust because I did this last night. Like, I have a bed, a crafting table, temp home, my little setup to go down into the basement or into my mine, my little storage area right here that's got various different things, a chest that's almost full. That heads down to my Skelly spawner for XP, various things down under the world that I'm using. But I'm really happy with the setup, especially now that I have the inventory tabs set up, because it allows me to jump to various things. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to create myself another crafting table, because I would like to put it in the floor. So that way, when I am doing things, as long as I'm within arm's length, there we go. Now it shows up as a crafting table right here, so I can switch between all my items. And it's just a nice, quick little setup. Eventually, I will relabel these items, because I can go to here and here, boop, and label it as stone. Uses up a level. God, that was loud. But it means it shows up here, so when I go into this, it'll actually show up here. So that way I can organize these a little bit better. And then when eventually I make my actual real starter base, I can reutilize these things later, so that way the levels aren't burnt. So I'm hoping that we are able to do that very soon. But yeah, now I have all that set up, and I'm feeling really good about it. I don't think. Oh, yes. I was actually able, last Wednesday, I was able to finally get level 30 enchants on my enchantment table here in the basement. And I updated my setup a little bit so that way it looks a little cleaner. Got the grindstone in the back, anvil here, plenty of lapis to do what I need, books to recycle enchantments. Made a entrance into the mine shaft, so that way I don't have to go 2 different directions to get down here. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I do know that based on the layout of things, There is a lush cave and stuff that are out in this area that I definitely need to do a bit more exploring of. But for the time being, this does what I need. And yeah, gets me plenty of levels when I need it. Oh, and I just realized we officially have to shift down bow storage by 1 and probably actually put lava down here. I've been putting off putting a lava bucket down here for trash because I didn't think I needed it, but it really looks like we're just about there. Oh no, you can't. How long has it been like that? Probably a while. Sorry. Well, here's my skelly spawner, my updated enchantment setup. I'll go back upstairs and talk about that stuff. So yeah, this is my little hobbit hole before I go make an actual starter base. Again, my bed. I think I might be the only person on the server. I am. But yeah, my furnace, my stuff, my axolotl pool, which needs to be a little bit bigger. We'll get there. I just want to expand it this way. But yeah, these items that I now have the inventory tab, so it allows me to switch between things quickly and easily and be able to get to what I need without actually switching around to everything. I am going to change something with the inventory tabs because I may not like spinning around actually to get into these things, but right here, rotate the player to the tabs block. Yes. So that way, as I go into each chest, it actually bumps me to that. So that way, when I'm done, I'm facing the chest I just used. So if I need to get back into it real quick, I can just right click again and I'm back to go. Yeah. Nice little cow, wheat, and potato farm. Doing great, having fun. Everybody's happy. That's a creeper. Damn it. It happened again. This happened not too long ago, and I was very upset about it. And it happened again. Okay. I guess I'm gonna fix this, huh? Okay, how do I fix it? I need fence posts. Did the fence post blow up and go down here? That would be cool. It didn't. Okay. We're gonna fix this. I made a mistake. It was my bad. So we need... Yeah, so now I can go here and I could go bop, bop. Go to stone, go to bop, bop. And then wood. Bop, bop. Cool. So, the big thing that's going to be a challenge for this is I have to remove the water. Oh, great. Okay, did you drop anything good? You dropped a stick. Oh, and she gave me slowness. Awesome. Well... So we'll dump the water. head down here. I'm gonna have slowness for a while, aren't I? And we take the water. So they all stop jumping. Put this back on top. And then in theory, I should be able to go back down here and drop the water again. But now all their hitboxes are in the way. Oh, it worked. Okay, I haven't been able to do that before. It always gave me issues. Cool. Awesome. That wasn't too bad. I am going to do this, though, because that's going to annoy me. Wasn't nearly enough dirt. Let's do a little bit of terraforming. And by a little bit, I clearly mean I just need enough dirt to finish this job, and then we're very much done with this. Cool. It looks great. It's super. Nothing happened. Everything's fine. God. This is what I get for jumping in the server just randomly. Where'd that come from? There you are. Oh, you look like you got a good bow. Wait. You didn't drop your bow. Ugh. What a dweeb. So yeah, I can drop off the fence, drop off the bones, go to weapons, drop off arrows, and then wood, drop off the stick. And yeah, I didn't even have to exit out of my inventory once. Well, awesome, friends. Cool. Then, yeah, I just wanted to jump in here real quick, show some of those updates. Apparently show it twice because I don't know how to use my computer. So, yeah, I am going to just log off since I'm the only person on the server anyway. And we will go back to here and back to here. Yeah. Well, my friends, I think we will, thank you. I appreciate that you, like it. I think I will, jump out of, streaming for the day. Let's see if there's anybody that we can send, things over to. What we sitting at right now? It doesn't look like there's anybody streaming the similar kind of vibe that we're doing right now, so I don't want to change the vibe so quickly and turn you off from stuff. So I give you the opportunity to jump and find another chill streamer, somebody who's doing something in Minecraft, maybe doing some art or some crafting and other things. Find them out, seek them out, give them the support that they need. So, with that, my friends, I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Design and conquer, my friends. I will see you at the next one. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and even better start to your week. Bye.